Hey everyone, Mike Mulligan here. Thank you for joining me today. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about a cool new product called the Case for Vision, which turns an iPhone into a portable magnifier and telescope with a built-in stand. And for full disclosure, this is a sponsored post, but in today's video, I'm going to go through all the different features of this case so you can have an idea of how it works and if it might be helpful for you or someone you know. So let's get into it. Okay, so let's dive into this Case for Vision and what it's all about. So first thing I want to point out is at the time of this video posting, the Case for Vision is only available for iPhone 15 Pros. They're working on developing Case for Visions in different sizes to accommodate different iPhone versions, and there should be some out in the beginning of 2025. But again, at the posting of this video, it is only available for iPhone 15 Pros. And I'm going to start by inserting the iPhone 15 Pro into the case. So they're separate right now, and I'm going to put the phone over the whole of the case and use my thumbs to guide it in, push it in with both thumbs, slides in pretty easy and is pretty secure. So now that I have the iPhone in the case, that's where it really becomes a useful tool. So let me show you how it works. So first thing here, and probably one of the main features of this case, is these two metal legs that are on the back of the case. So they normally are folded in, so that way it can be carried in a pocket. It's very portable. But when you want to use it as either the magnifier or telescope function, which I'll show here in a minute, all you got to do is unfold the legs and turn it into a stand. So I'm going to unfold one side, unfold the other, and I'm just going to demonstrate here. If I place it on the table, it becomes a stand, and I can put my hand underneath, which will make more sense here in a minute. But it's pretty handy in that the stand is built into the case for the iPhone here. So when somebody's done, all they got to do is fold the case back down, and it's back into portable mode, like I like to call it. So it's very handy. Legs come in and out to create that stand, and go right back in. Okay, so now I'm going to demonstrate the magnifier function of the Case for Vision. And this is really the primary use for this case. So I'm going to show you how it works. It's pretty simple to use, but the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to unfold the legs of the case so it becomes that stand, which is how it is able to see what I put underneath it. So right now the stand is up with the two metal legs. It's standing on the table, and it's pretty good height from the table up to the phone, where it's using the camera of the phone to magnify. So it's nice because papers can fit under here, standard 8x11 pieces of paper, even products that maybe you want to read the label of. So it has a lot of functionality there, all built into this case. So what I'm going to do now is show you the magnifier telescope app that comes with the Case for Vision. So it's a really simply designed app. I think it's pretty intuitive and easy to use. So I'm going to open that now. It is this icon here on the bottom right of the screen in my orientation. So I'm going to tap that. Now I have two options. I have the magnifier option or the telescope option. And for right now, I'm just going to do magnifier. So I'm going to tap that. So now the screen has turned to the magnifier function and is just pointing down the table. I'm going to put my hand under there. Now my hand is on the screen of the phone. So I'm going to talk about a few of the features here, and then I'll show you the magnifier part. So to do that, I have a talking microwave oven instruction manual. That's what I had lying around. So I'm just going to show you some of these features, and then we'll keep going on. So first one I want to show you is on the bottom left of the screen in my orientation that I have it is the contrast button. So this changes the color contrast of the page. So some contrast works better for other people. So I'm going to tap that, turn to black and white. Now white, black, yellow, black, and then back to no filter. So there's a few different options there with contrast. The next one I want to show you is on the bottom right of the screen, and again in this orientation, is the flashlight. And this is really helpful because even right now there's some shadows on the talking microwave oven instruction manual. So I'm going to tap that, and that really helps to eliminate some of those shadows. Can cause some glare depending on the surface it's on, but in general I find that really helpful to have that flashlight option, which is really just using the flash of the iPhone to lighten up the page. Next thing I want to show you here is there's a little snowflake on the top right, and when I tap that, it will pause whatever is on the screen, so that can be manipulated more if needed, as well as saved. So if I tap it, there it made a picture clicking sound, and then I can look at that, and if I want to save it, I can save the picture for later use if needed. So I'm going to unfreeze here, and I started showing you a little bit there the gestures that make this magnifier work. A lot of them are just standard iPhone gestures, which makes it really nice and convenient. You don't have to learn new gestures or a different way of pushing buttons. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just show you zooming in and zooming out and moving around. So right now, if I want to zoom in more, I'm going to put my fingers together and pinch and expand. So I'm expanding out and it's zooming in while I do that. And I can do this anywhere on the screen. And then if I want to navigate it in, now that it's magnified, all I got to do is use one finger, just drag on the screen. And then if that's too large or I'm done with that, I can pinch together, which zooms back out. Another cool thing about this magnifier function is I can just use my finger to manipulate it without having to move the page around all the time. So a lot of magnifiers requires moving the page around or even moving the magnifier itself around. But here I can just use my finger and I can get pretty good field of view and manipulate it that way. So again, zooming in, show you how far it gets zoomed in. Quality is pretty good because iPhone cameras quality is pretty good nowadays. So it's a really nifty function. It's easy to use, not a lot of learning required, and convenient because it's an app. It's built into the case. It can go anywhere with you. So next thing I want to show you is the telescopic function. So next here I just want to demonstrate briefly the telescopic function. Again, this is probably not the main function of the case, but is a really helpful option to have if you're out and about and you need something to use to see something at a further distance instead of just putting something underneath the magnifier. So the way this works is, like I mentioned earlier when I was demoing the case, the lever slides out or towards the top of the phone, and that brings the mirror out. So right now the mirror is sliding out, and this can be easily adjusted once in position. And once you have that out, you can probably do it in both orders, but I'm going to slide the legs back out, set the case and the phone back on the table here. I'm going to tap on the magnifier app again, and now I'm back in the magnifier telescope option. So I'm going to tap telescope. So right now I am manipulating the mirror a little bit on the phone with one of my fingers to get it to where I want. So on the wall in front of me, you can't see it except in the phone itself, is an eye chart. So I have the eye chart on set up with the telescope function. And once it's in that position, what I can do again is I can zoom in with the pinch, zoom out by pinching together, zoom in by pinching apart, zoom in. It has the freeze function. If I'm on the right spot, take a picture, and then I can just manipulate it more. And once you get it in the kind of the right position, I'm going to zoom back out here. So right now I can just kind of leave it in that position where I want it. Again, I can zoom in, change the color contrast. And another function with the telescope that's pretty cool is you can take a video of whatever it's on. So if you're in a class and you are pointing it at the screen to make it a little bit easier to see the screen, you can also record, potentially it's a lecture, whatever's going on the screen. So same gestures, just turns this into a little telescope function. I think it's a pretty cool idea and option to have with this device. So there are two other features I want to briefly show to you that I think are pretty helpful with this case for vision. And number one is it makes a great stand for using Seeing AI. So for those of you who know Seeing AI is, it's an app on the phone that does a lot of different features, but primarily reads text out loud. Having the stand can be really helpful instead of trying to just point the phone at what you want it to read. You have a good idea of where it's laid out when it's on a stand. So I'm going to open up Seeing AI and just demo it here. I have my talking microwave oven instructions underneath. So I'm going to open up Seeing AI.
Short tech, talking microwave oven owner's manual and cooking guide. Please read this owner's manual thoroughly before operating.
So just read all the text on this opening intro page of the talking microwave oven. Hopefully you're able to hear that. But I find having the stand as an option is really helpful with that. And then finally, the last feature I just want to show you briefly is the case also makes a great phone stand if you're trying to watch something or read something on the screen, making it hands-free. So I'm just going to show that really briefly. I'm going to unfold one leg, and then I'm going to unfold the other leg, and they're going to touch each other and become a little stand. So kind of one leg rests onto the top, onto the other leg, and then I can have it hands-free standing in front of me. Again, another great option to have that hands-free stand, again, just built into the case here. So overall, I've been very pleasantly surprised by the case for Vision and all its functionality with it. It is a great option to create a portable stand, magnifier, as well as telescope, and not have to carry around another device, which tend to be more cumbersome as well as more expensive. So the price point is definitely lower with the case. I know the company is working on developing it further so that it would be able to fit different iPhone versions like I mentioned earlier, as well as maybe modifying legs and some stands and some other cool features. But right now, I think it's a great tool for some people, and I definitely recommend checking it out. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope this video was helpful in learning a little bit more about the case for Vision. If you're interested, there's a link in the bio of this video so you can get some more information and a way to order it. And thank you so much for joining me today, and have a wonderful day.